everyone, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to another live stream. What a day. What a Sunday, to be honest. All the scorelines were actually crazy. But Chelsea won 3-2 at Stamford Bridge, our second home win, guys, of the season. How is everyone feeling? Hi, Michael. Never a dull moment. No, when has there ever been a dull moment at Chelsea? Never ever, not heard of one. Hi, Daniel. When do you think we'll see Nkunku come off the bench? Manchester United or Everton? I mean, now that Gallagher has suspended himself, nicely has freed up a spot there for a certain someone. But no, I don't know if it'll be too soon. I don't know if Manchester United on Wednesday is too soon. But who knows? I think we might see him in the squad then. He was a question mark for today's game, to be honest. So maybe Man United is a bit more fitting. And he'll be more than welcome. I mean, I just can't wait for Nkunku's return. How did everyone feel about that game, though, guys? Let me know. Obviously, absolutely insane. I mean, no chill days at Chelsea, really. Like, I thought, Tottenham and Man City, all games of their own. But, I mean, we just needed a win today, right? So whatever the performance, whatever the result, a win is a win. Not that it does much for us league-wise, like league position-wise, but again, like we just can't afford to be dropping any more points, particularly at this time of year. Liam says, our lack of leadership and discipline is very concerning. Our last two games now, two different captains, and both get sent off with two stupid yellow cards. Yeah, this is the thing I said. You'd think that a week off following from Newcastle would have been enough time for those players to realise how silly that was. And not just Reece James. I mean, everyone was like losing their cool pretty much at times in that game. And today was no different. I mean, Caicedo was lucky to be on the pitch still. And it was just moments like that where it's costly. You can't be wearing the captain armband and be the one that goes in for a silly tackle. As a captain, you're supposed to be the one that's composing all the players. When tensions are rising, you're supposed to, calm and install peace, not go in for silly challenges like that, Gallagher. And the fact that he literally still tried to explain himself to the ref, it was like, come on, you just can't excuse that. You're getting sent off. Big Up was not happy to watch the game, sadly. How was the performance? Hi, Jacob. Yeah, to be fair, I didn't go to the game today. This is the first home game I've missed this season, but I just couldn't go. And it was a big miss if you didn't see it. But to be fair, it wasn't the greatest performance. There was a lot of question marks. As Liam just said, discipline was just not there. And you see it more and more in games like that where experience kind of is missing in a sense. That player that can really sort of call to everyone down. And yeah, you could argue Thiago Silva is that, but players should be taking responsibility for their own actions, and like putting up an apology on Instagram isn't quite going to cut it. And yes, I'm referencing Reece James here because it just needs to be better. We lose you to injuries, and I guess that's out of your control, but we can't be losing you too for challenges like that, and same goes with Gallagher. It's just bizarre to think it's a week's difference and lessons weren't learned. But hey, happy Enzo got his first goal in the Premier League. Yes, and not just one, but two. Scored the penalty as well. And I'm so pleased for him because you can see how much it means to him. He has been playing for the badge since he arrived. I said that he's been one of our better players, and I was really confused why people were so critical of him in recent games. He had his baby and stuff, and maybe he's had things going on the sides, but Enzo's that player that will always give his 100% on the pitch. Maybe at times he has been a bit slower in transition or has been tackled, but equally, there you go. And he was just so pleased to be able to shush everyone that's been doubting him. So for anyone doubting Enzo, there you go. But yeah, very, very happy that it was him to get the brace. Let's beat Man United on Wednesday. Yeah, Jonathan, like I said, I want nothing more than to beat Man United on Wednesday. There's just no if, buts or maybes. And considering what our last few games have been like against top six teams, expect nothing different on Wednesday is all I'm going to say. Obviously, Old Trafford, not the best record there. It's always a difficult place to go at. But considering their form and ours, it's going to be interesting to say the least. But again, 3 points, absolutely necessary. We cannot let them walk away with 3 points and climb further up. Ain't no way. Almost forgot how a win looks like. On the other hand, what happens with the guys on the pitch? Total lack of responsibility. Yeah, and again, like I said, really, really happy to win. It's almost quite bizarre, guys, because if you remember, when we beat Brighton and knocked them out of the Carabao Cup, it was the same feeling, because I went into that game thinking, yeah, we're not going to win. I went in with a bit more confidence just because of like their injuries and stuff, but even still, I said that against Newcastle and we got absolutely thumped at St James's Park. So I now know not to judge that of injuries. Plus, what De Zerbi has done with Brighton is taught them how to still have a system even when first teamers are out. When you bring on sort of the so-called B team, the quality doesn't drop as opposed to if you were to bring on subs that don't regularly play football. So I wasn't underestimating them, and I was actually really scared when he made that quadruple substitution. I thought maybe, that's where we get punished. I was nervous because our home form has been bad. Yeah, again, you're not the only one. Our home record has been shocking, guys, shocking. To think that we've picked up so little in the span of Premier League games we've had already is just not good enough, and it needs to get better. I mean, come on, Luton. It's just not good enough to be just that. And now Brighton too. Hey Ella, thank God for a win at home. Yes, I know. How on earth are we? Do you know what? I feel like if Chelsea are playing, you need to just take the day off. You need like water, maybe some paracetamol, just something to calm you down as well. Because what the hell? I feel like my life expectancy has decreased already this season, and we're not even Christmas time yet. Like, you just know that there's going to be no chill, whatever happens. And I'm not expecting Manchester United to be any more of a calm game or a quieter game. No absolute way. We look tired in midfield. Yeah, look, I want to kind of blame that on international break and sort of players coming in and out consistently. I don't think Caicedo had the best game, to be honest, and I already said this. I think he was lucky to stay on the pitch. Another player that lost his head. I don't know if it meant extra because he wanted to prove something to Brighton, and, he had a lot of the fans booing him at times, and I think that just really aggravated him more. But Caicedo doesn't strike me as a player like that, as a player that loses his marbles when things go south and stuff. So I think with him, I'm just going to blame exhaustion maybe, and just slowly sort of easing into Chelsea. Again, he's another player. He didn't have a pre-season with us. He arrived late. All eyes were on him because of the record-breaking fee it cost to bring him in from Brighton. So, yeah, again, I'm going to be a bit more patient with Caicedo, but I still think that there has been signs of improvement. But today, it wasn't quite the best game for him, I don't think. Oh, Enzo Fernandez. Yes, I bet, Charlie, you love that game. It must have been great, but you also must be freezing. Guys, it's so cold in the UK right now. Winter is well and truly here. Who's going to play as a number 10 on Wednesday? Well, like I said, I don't know if it's a game too soon. I'm probably really delusional. Like, Nkunku probably isn't ready to start. But, I mean, if Gallagher is suspended and we're missing a number 10. But no, I doubt that he will start. We might see Palmer in that role, actually. And then that means we get to play Mudryk and Sterling as well on the wings. And then Jackson or Breuer up top. But again, it means a little bit time to shift around and see what else we can experiment with. Obviously, I'm not pleased that Gallagher has suspended himself. Again, just a stupid moment. You need to think better. I think those are just times where the inexperience and the sort of the young squad that we do have does come through. Enzo Fernandez certainly answered his critics today, 2 goals. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I'm so pleased for him. A lot of people have been doubting him recently. I don't see why. I don't really stand with those people. But again, maybe we can want more from midfield, and that is fine, but it will come. And there we go. Like, he missed the penalty once, but that didn't let him sort of lose his confidence, and he was at that penalty spot, and he seized the opportunity when it mattered. So great to see him. And at the end of the day, I know he's won a World Cup, but he's still young, and he's only going to be a player that gets better and better. But the fact that he cost the amount that he did is clearly a demonstration that he is going to be unleashing potential in the future, and thankfully he's ours to develop. Channel Blue, fair play to the guys for hanging on to the result. It was much needed. Thought Gallagher's tackle was total reckless. Not really seen anything to suggest we will get a result at Old Trafford. Yeah, again, like, just within, like, the discipline is not quite there, is it? And Pochettino has got a lot of work to do. He's got a system to build, a mentality to build, and discipline to install. So that's a big job to have, but you're the manager. Nobody else is going to do that. Like, these players do need to learn from someone, and it's got to come. But yeah, we guys, we we hung on to the result. Well, even with the quadruple substitution that De Zerbi brought on, I thought this is the moment where they can punish 10-man Chelsea. You know, they brought so much fresh legs on. They brought their top goal scorers on. You know, you had João Pedro coming on, you had Mitoma coming on, who you know can cause problems on that left side, and he did, like, he was trying to get through. Thankfully, it wasn't anything that punished us, etc. But they brought on a lot of threat, and I thought, you know, we're going to sit back here, but we know that defensively we can be exposed, but we actually hung in there. Like you said, yeah, we conceded. You can say maybe defensively we could have done better, but still, to concede a red card so early on in the game and still see it through and win, we'll take it. Again, we're not in a position to be choosing how to get our wins here right now, guys. These things are scarce. They don't come at Chelsea very often. I think Enzo will be a good signing in the Premier League. Yeah, look, like I said, his price tag is there for a reason. Some people said that is absolutely extortionate for a player of his age when we signed him in January. But, you know, we pursued him until the end. You know, we remember like halfway through January when that supposed deal dropped through, and then it was that sort of deadline day, like, big name signing, Enzo Fernandez coming to Chelsea, and he's been living up to it, guys. I mean, I don't know, let me know how you feel in the comments, but for me, Enzo Fernandez has been living up to it. I didn't see anyone complain about his price tag. I've seen it in the recent couple games where he has had an off day, but equally he is so like loyal. Like, already you can see in his eyes, like, he consistently tries. He's always trying to retrieve the ball, but I think at times he needs to be quicker just on that turn. You know, Brighton especially were pressing us in a lot of that game, and sometimes I just wish he could maybe make that pass earlier, like make that turn quicker and be a bit more surprising and explosive in that sense. Explosive, yeah, I don't know, it just kind of sounded like I made that word up for a sec. But you know what I mean, as time goes on, and I truly believe that we can get there with Enzo. Yo, Nina, what a game. Yeah, like I said, I mean, you can say that with every Chelsea game. Like, clearly we set, like, strapping, guys. We're in for a roller coaster this season. It's going to be up, down, everywhere. You know, we're always going to be that club that no matter where we are in the league, we're still making the headlines. We're still causing all the drama. Like, our games are just always the most entertaining, aren't they? But yeah, anyways, guys, before I read some more comments, if you are watching, thank you so much, but please do hit the like on this video if you haven't done so already. Yeah, and obviously make sure you're subscribed. But yeah, again, thank you so much to all 30 of you who are in here watching this stream right now. Appreciate you all. Good win. Don't know what I would have done without the 3 points. Silly from Gallagher. Big week ahead. I want a win against United, man. No, honestly, I think we're all with you on that. A win against Manchester United, just would feel so good. Like, winning at Old Trafford, yeah, bring it on. Like I said, we need to be winning these games now. You know, take Man United's form. If they've been picking up last minute goals and climbing, like, I don't actually know how Man United have managed to be where they are in the league right now. They've had so many sort of last minute winners. A lot of them have been lucky, and it's just like, how do you do that? But at the end of the day, like, you just have to be able to do that. Like, nobody looks at the league position and goes, oh yeah, but you picked up those silly points and you had that and that and that and that. Like, we're 10th right now, so we really are in no position to speak. But I agree with you totally that Man United win is so necessary. Gonna put this Brighton one, great, but Man United is so much more important. Hi Nina, how are you? Yes, a great win. Yes, thanks for all the love. Good day. Yeah, basically. Where is your last name from? It's Bulgarian. I'm Bulgarian, guys, for those of you who didn't know. Fun facts about me. Like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much, Niall. Do what Niall says, guys. Everyone, like this stream. Help it share it round. Obviously, subscribe if you haven't done so. I am on the road to 3,000 subscribers, which is mental to say because this channel has basically existed for about 6 months now. So again, thank you so much to everyone that's watching, commenting, liking, supporting. It doesn't go unnoticed, guys. I am so happy. What about Cole Palmer as number 10? I'm not chucking in Nkunku in that team who hasn't kicked a ball in 4 months. Yeah, look, Cole Palmer can play as a 10. Like, he is versatile like that. He can play on the wing. He can play as a 10. He's creative. You know that he will push through. He will set up players. He links and brings in, like, players well, and I think he is someone that can help us break down low blocks as well. He does have that up his sleeve. I think on the ball he's great, and yeah, I mean, for me, he is a number 10, so we can play him there. Obviously when Nkunku comes back, he can slot there straight away. But I agree with you, Daniel. Like, we can't be irrational and rush and Nkunku straight back in, especially with our injury list, which is still quite extensive. Let's not forget, last thing we want is limiting Nkunku from coming back to full fitness as he would. But when the day comes, it's going to be so good. Two teams that are very similar, Chelsea and Man United on Wednesday should be a good one. Yeah, again, like I said, I expect all the entertainment to be brought to that one, because take our recent games, if it has been what it was against Tottenham and Man City and obviously now Brighton, etc., expect nothing less against Manchester United, and whatever the excuses are, no excuses. I'm not even going to blame injuries. I'm not even going to look at that. We need to go to Old Trafford and actually produce and get a result. If we want to prove something, we need to get a result there, 100%. And like I said, we can't afford to be dropping any more points. We need to climb further up. Otherwise, those top European places just seem further and further away. And like I said, it's not even the new year yet. Poch really needs to tell them to calm down with yellow cards. It's silly. Yeah, again, like I said, so irrational, just so quick on it. And really, guys, like, we were 2-0 up, and then obviously we conceded, and immediately you could see like the switch in the players. It was like, no, like, we can't let this happen. We can't concede another. And it's almost like fear, but it's translated into chaos. It's not fear that's like, right, let's compose ourselves, let's control the game, we're in the lead. And it's because we're not used to being in the lead, I suppose. We don't know how to necessarily like kill off games, park the bus. We don't really know what it feels like to be able to just kill off a game like that. And that's where you see the inexperience. And I think that needs to be worked on 100%, but you can see that players do go in for those challenges after, because it's a moment of, I'm really annoyed, I'm going to just try and go in for this challenge, I'm going to try and retrieve this ball at all costs. I spot it in the Sassy as well, guys, a lot of the time. I don't know if you noticed this, but the Sassy is another player that is very physical, and he's very good defensively, but sometimes he can't accept when he has been tackled, and he will start sort of tugging at players and trying to win like duels and stuff. And I love that. Like, it's great to go in for those, but at times, like, you do need to know when enough is enough as well, because you don't want to get yourself into trouble. And that is truly like the line that we need to overcome, and it's a lesson to be learned. But again, we can't be throwing away games because players just don't know how to compose and control themselves. And again, I get what Pochettino says about not having experience in the team, because that does come from experience. Those players that can sort of make everyone chill, like your Thiago Silva. Like, can we just have 11 of him, please? Big up, Nina. Can we beat Man United away? And which attack would you go for with Gallagher being suspended? Hello. And yeah, look, I think I personally wouldn't make too many changes. And if Gallagher hadn't been suspended, we probably would have gone with the same lineup pretty much. And even though Jackson's not been having the best of games, I think Pochettino just wants to flesh out as much as he can, at least until like January. Obviously, we've got Breuer fit now to compete with Jackson, but I just don't think that he'll drop him, because of the fact that, we didn't sign like a big striker in summer as like a lot of us wanted to. And he's almost just trying to see how much you can get out of him. I think Nkunku is a big like game player for Jackson as well. I think the reason Jackson was so good in preseason was because Nkunku was on the pitch with him. And I think Pochettino just wants to test that sort of once more when Nkunku comes back, to see if we can push Jackson to be the striker that we saw him to be in summer. But yeah, I think again, like, I'd go with Mudryk and Sterling, because I think when them two play on each flank, they sort of balance like the attack. Like, moving forward, like, they're both really quick. They're our quickest players, I'd argue, so they provide you pace. If you've got Palmer in that 10, setting them both up on the left and right, I think that could be truly special to expose Man United's back line, hopefully. Hello. Honestly, this month decides the season. If we beat United and Everton, we can climb the table ASAP. Yeah, guys, and look, if we look back, this is the sort of the run of games I was absolutely dreading with all my might. Your City, your Arsenal, your Tottenham, your Brighton, your Man United. Like, this is the run where I didn't know where points were coming from. We are picking up a bit more than we expected, though. We won against Tottenham, we drew against City and Arsenal, we beat Brighton today. So already there are more points on this tally than I anticipated, before we went into it. If we win against Man United, again, that's another 3 points that I potentially would not have foreseen. And it does put us in a better place, But then, of course, we need to learn how to break teams that sit back and play low blocks, because so far we've been playing teams where they give us a game and we can have more space and this and that, but we still do have other teams to beat. Frankly, like the top 6 teams aren't necessarily our biggest enemy. It's been the ones that have been beating us, like your Forests and your West Hams, etc. Game management is our main problem. Yeah, you could probably argue that. Like I said, I thought game management was really poor against Newcastle as well. Obviously, it might have had something to do with Poch not being on the sideline physically, but game management sometimes is poor. Like substitutions are a little bit questionable. Personally, I didn't have problems with our substitutions today. I would have obviously subbed off Caicedo, but then I looked at the bench and I was like, but there is nobody to sub on for Caicedo because, again, like our bench just wasn't that powerful really in any sense. Like we had maybe some attacking threat. Obviously, Maatsen came on. What do you guys think about Ian Maatsen, by the way? Because I almost sort of forgot about Ian Maatsen, but again, he was one of our more versatile players, and I don't think Pochettino sees him as a left back. Like he won't play him there. I think he did get done by Mitoma a few times, but equally maybe intercepted, got the ball out a little bit better. He is an exciting player, though. I do think. I just don't know how he fits into Chelsea long term. Really, we won ugly. Yeah, David. You know what? But beggars can't be choosers. We needed 3 points and we got them. We've seen that we've played amazing games this season and we've walked away with nothing. So truly, I'd rather be in the space that we were today with not the best performance and some question marks, but have picked up a result against Brighton for sure. Big up, Nina. We are Yellow Card FC. Yeah, I mean, aren't we leading in the yellow card statistic, guys? I mean, if that's even a thing, like if you want to be first in something, we are first in that because Chelsea have picked up so many yellow cards this season and it just continues on. I mean, how many players still got booked today? And again, it's like the clock is ticking before someone else gets a double yellow. And then that's where we are truly in trouble. But players have to understand that it doesn't always come at every cost. You know, if you are like the last man and you need to go in for that tackle, like, okay, like sometimes that's fine. But then there's fouls like today and against Newcastle where it's like it's just so unnecessary and you risk throwing the game away for everyone. Thankfully today that just wasn't the case, but against Newcastle you could argue it was. Gallagher didn't help one bit. What was he thinking? Yeah, and again I'm sure he's going to be kicking himself tonight, like dwelling on it, but really it's just not good enough. He needs to do better, but just another player that needs to learn. Although I don't agree with how much people have come out and criticised him straight away. Like some people have said, see, this is why we should have sold him, but really nobody was saying that up until this point. So a bit overreactionary on that one. Like, yes, we can absolutely ridicule his decisions today, just not good enough. But again, I wouldn't go as far as saying that he should have been sold. We need to see the blue balloon at Stamford Bridge. Yeah, honestly, that picture has been circulating around social media since last year, like before we even knew that before he was even officially signed, let's say, because it took a little bit of a while, didn't it, actually solidifying that transfer. But yeah, honestly, like I said, his return is going to be so welcome and it's going to come at a much needed time. Like Nkunku is going to be needed. Especially, like I said, if there's anyone that can break down low blocks, I trust that it's Nkunku. We were cruising 2-0 up, then we got a man sent off. Glad Cucurella and James are back for the Man United game. Good to see Enzo scoring. Yeah, absolutely. And I hope that Reece James has also learned his lesson because, like I said, it's out of his control when he's out because of injuries. Like, I'm not going to hold him to that. But equally, at the same time, we can't afford to lose you for decisions like that as well. You know, as a captain, you should know better. And he's not that inexperienced. Like, Reece James has been with us enough time now. He is one of those more senior players. That's why he's been selected as club captain as well. So he just needs to be a little bit more calm in that aspect and exert it across the team. He needs to be talking to the players. Like, he needs to be communicating and calming the nerves. Yeah, good to see Enzo scoring though. 100% agreed. Jackson not good enough. What is your thoughts, guys, on Jackson today? Because yeah, he got an assist, but truly I didn't really buy into his performance today. I thought he robbed Mudryk of an assist as well. If you guys remember that great run that Mudryk had on the left flank, like showed great pace, like beat his man, and then nothing really. And okay, fair enough. Like Jackson did have maybe a player on his back, but I just think sometimes he loses it. Like, he never looks up when he's got the ball in his feet as well. Is something I've noticed. He's so in his head when he's got the ball that he just doesn't quite know what to do. And he's like quick feet. He's like penguin feet. Like, and then it's nothing. Like, what is your final decision there, Jackson? Like, I can't quite figure out what you're trying to do. At times he didn't time his runs well as well. Like, just stay on side, please. Like, how many times have we had the problem at Chelsea where strikers just can't stay on side for the life of them? But yeah, he needs to do better, and I do feel the frustration that people are feeling in regards to him. Oh, sorry guys. We just need to get that maximum 3 points in order to catapult up there. I believe with the coming for Christopher Nkunku, the forward line would be more clinical in front of goal. Yeah, exactly. Like, hopefully, again, I said he brings in other players into play. He is clinical. We've seen him have that striker instinct finish in pre-season. Such a shame that he didn't even make it into the Premier League. But again, I keep repeating that he's going to be more than welcome to return. Jackson has other things on his mind. Yeah, well, clearly, obviously he does. Players need to take players need to stop taking unnecessarily. That. Looking forward to seeing Lavia and Nkunku. Yeah, of course. I mean, I keep talking about Nkunku, but Lavia hasn't made an appearance yet, has he, either, for us? So, again, he's just another exciting player, but I haven't seen Lavia play as I have Nkunku. Yes, it's pre-season, but I still have seen a bit of his game. Lavia is just going to be a complete surprise, and I don't really know what he's bringing. But, again, like, we fought him. Liverpool wanted him, so there must be something in Lavia to be shown. Our discipline is on a very low level. We cannot be conceding a red card back-to-back. Yeah, but we did. We're carrying that tally of red, yellow cards. Man United have been rubbish this season, and Chelsea dodged the bullet not getting Onana. Oh my God, guys. Yeah, especially like following from their Champions League game. I mean, I literally thought that. I was like, how much further down could we have been maybe signed Onana? Like, I know sometimes he comes out with some like really good saves, and then other times it's just like, how are you doing this? Like, where is that keeper from Champions League last season? But yeah, I mean, what it could have been and what it could have not. I wouldn't say that Sanchez has particularly been Wales class for us either, but I still think I'd rather have him over Onana right now. Ian Maatsen getting sold in January, sadly. Yeah, like I said, I don't think Pochettino really ever envisioned Ian Maatsen having a future at Chelsea. Just doesn't quite fit in. But yeah, I mean, he was great at Burnley, obviously a big game player for them too, part of their success. But it is a shame though, isn't he? Because he's one of those like versatile players as well. Like, he can play as a left back. We've seen him on the wing. We've seen him sort of in midfield positions, and he always does bring in fresh energy. Like, I like him. He's really quick. Like, he can be quite technical as well, but yeah, maybe does get pushed off the ball too. But yeah, I don't see him staying at Chelsea. Yeah, Onana's having a nightmare of a season. We're really looking forward to Wednesday. Yeah, let's just hope that he's not pulling out those world-class saves on Wednesday. Like, let's hope that he's performing the way he was in the Champions League game the other night, because, yeah, last thing we want is him having a good game. It'll be great to expose that, actually, and then we can really sort of have that conversation of, we almost signed him. Brighton's first goal was appalling for us to concede. Colwill has got to show him down the line. He can't let him cut inside. That is a basic defending that you learn as a kid. Then 2 minutes later, go man down. Yeah, look, I also think Colwill maybe could have done better on that. Who was it? Was it Badiashile as well alongside them? Maybe if they'd stuck a leg out or something, could have potentially prevented that. It was a great finish, though, to be fair. But yeah, again, it was typical for us to concede, wasn't it? And then, like I said, I think that just really shook everyone up. And then Gallagher decided that he just had to go in for that challenge, and not even 3 minutes later, we were down to 10 men. And I thought, yeah, so typical. Like, of course, we'll be 2-0 up, but we won't see the game through till the end because, yeah, frankly, we just can't do that. With the January transfer window opening in a few weeks, Nina, who would you like to see signed for Chelsea in January? Do you know what? I almost can't believe that it's already here. Like, how is transfer window right around the corner? It almost feels like yesterday when we were, fighting with dear life to sign Caicedo, and he was our biggest pursuit. We wanted to, bring him in at all costs, and we were having to fight off Liverpool for him just on the brink of transfer deadline day. And now we're talking about transfer windows again. And honestly, guys, I'm a little bit fed up with buying and spending just aimlessly. I'm already seeing sort of rumours about this youngster coming in, and I know that this is the project, and I know it's about young recruits coming in, but what are we doing with them truly? Because it even seems like the players that we are loaning out, like, even like take Andre Santos as well, someone that we really thought we should get because he's someone that is rising up. You know, he was doing brilliantly out in Brazil, and we said we need to have him. And I'm pretty sure a few other Premier League clubs sort of had an eye out for him as well. But, you know, it was part of our project to develop these youngsters, send them out on loans. But was Nottingham Forest even the best choice for that? So it's almost like, okay, we can sign youngsters, but we need to have an actual sustainable plan for them to go away and get better. You know, like as we did with Colwill, for example. But it can't just be a case of, well, we send them out, just, you know, go somewhere, and then you're benched, and then you don't play, and then you'll return to Chelsea, and like, how have you developed? And now we're stuck with a bloated squad again, in that sense. But I think a striker would be nice, but again, like, it's not exactly like we have them lined up for us. And yeah, I mean, obviously it kind of seems like we have depth and then we don't, because we have so many injuries. Like when you look at sort of midfield, obviously Lavia hasn't been playing, but you know, he is that sort of backup there. Depth, obviously Ogechukwu, he's been coming on at times, and we do have these sort of players available, but they haven't all like played. They don't all fit in the system at the same time. But I just truly think we don't need that much. You know, it's all about truly like working with what players we have now, giving them game time and them getting better. But a striker, definitely. Big up. Hello, Luca. Thank you for watching. How do you have 33 watching? I don't know, but I'm grateful that 33 people are watching me right now. Chats all of this crap about Chelsea. But guys, yeah, reminder to just like this stream if you haven't done so already. And if you're still listening to me waffle, great. Glad to see the team fighting for the only fans that matters. Yeah. What? Wait, what do you mean? Do you mean fighting for fans or only fans, as in the Jackson joke? I don't get it. Santos possibly coming back in January. Yeah, look, I don't know. I think that was rumoured because, again, like I said, he was not having the best time at Nottingham Forest. I don't think he's particularly improving or getting better, and if anything, we probably prevented him from actually getting better by sending him there. Like I said, we need to be mindful of what loans we're sorting out for players that we're bringing in, because I know the whole project is them progressing, getting better, and returning to Chelsea one day to obviously be part of the long-term project. But there needs to be a more sort of well thought out plan, in my opinion. But I think he'll be welcome. I mean, why not? Andre Santos, he was a really exciting prospect for us, wasn't he? Manchester United need to be humbled this season. Yes, honestly, yes, exactly that. Like, how do they still actually have the cheek? I know there's a lot of fans that aren't happy with Man United, and they don't see how they have picked up as many points. But at the same time, like, how do you actually have the audacity to say that Chelsea are as bad as we are? Like, I know we are lower down in the league as well, but would you say quality-wise you're that much better? Like, questionable. Was that actually him? If you're talking about the Jackson thing, I don't know, and I can't say for sure. I don't think it's been confirmed. And again, like, don't believe everything you see. And at the same time, like, it is what it is. As long as you're performing on the pitch and you show and demonstrate that you have a good attitude for the team, then great. But if you're not, like, he hasn't been doing that great, then that's when we can have conversations about that. But for me personally, I don't really care. Love from Kentucky. No super chat option. Why? I don't have super chats yet available, but soon, guys. Stay tuned for that. I mean, again, like, if you're here watching, you are helping me achieve that. So thank you so much, Greens have. Obviously, love to Kentucky. I'm sure you enjoyed that game, but really, really great. Again, guys, if you want to help out, get the super chats in. Well, just like this video and we'll get there eventually. But like I said, it's been a graft. It's going well, so we'll see where this takes us. Caicedo could have been sent off in that game. He should be benched. Yeah, like I said, Caicedo, I thought he was a bit aggravated in that game. Like, I don't think he responded well to the away fans booing him. But mate, like, you are gonna get that. It's part of football. Your former club, if they just are, you know. I mean, Caicedo was one of their most prized possessions, and he came to Chelsea. Like, it's just part of it. But you know, you got to deal with it. You can't be getting sent off because you're angry that your former club's booing you. I mean, you've got to be better than that. And I do blame like his form sometimes on fatigue and like returning from international break late and this and that. But again, I do see him getting better. I do see him like progressing and becoming the player that we paid 115 million for, essentially. A striker we need in January, then rebuild is finished. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think we need to be mindlessly spending left, right, and centre. Like, I'm happy with the prospects that we've brought in. When everyone's back to full fitness as well, we will have a bigger selection. I know right now it feels like we need to be filling in gaps, but it is just about injuries. Like, once a lot of players do return, like, we will have that bigger choice, and we can start building a system like other teams like Brighton, say, for example, have, so that we can build an A team. I know that's obviously priority, but one day in the future, a B team as well, where when you are making substitutions, the players that you bring on as the B team, where the quality doesn't drop as immensely as it does, if you guys get what I mean. And obviously that is what a good team does, and that is the project that we are hoping that Pochettino is going to fulfill for us. Hello. Palmer in place of Gallagher on Wednesday, and Ian Maatson to start on the wing. What do you think, Nina? Yeah, look, I think that sounds exciting, but then again, I wouldn't play. So I only wouldn't play Ian Maatson on the wing because he just hasn't played there. And like I said, I don't think he's Poch's particular favourite. And I also like the fact that Pochettino has been keeping lineups relatively consistent and the same, bar where there's been an injury or a suspension. And I really like that, guys. I rate it so highly because that is the only way that you get players to form relationships and bonds on the pitch to play together. We're in no position right now where things are running so smoothly that you can make experiments like that. And I am going to call Ian Maatson an experiment because, like I said, he's not been playing there consistently in the Premier League. It's not to say that he shouldn't be brought on to bring some excitement on, give a more senior player a break and stuff. But like I said, against Man United, I'd go with the front three. I said, I'd go with Sterling. I'd go with probably Mudryk maybe on the left, and I'd go with Jackson up top, even though I'd give Breuer probably a start too, and then Palmer potentially in the number 10 because obviously now Gallagher is suspended. But I just wouldn't change too much, and I still do want to see Mudryk play and get better because, again, it's almost like with Mudryk, you get glimpses of what he can do and his potential and his excitement, and then it's just cut down because he's benched or he doesn't play or it's international break, and it's like, Like, remember when everyone was calling for him to start? That's been me since January, guys. The same goes with Noni Madueke, but that's just a different story, isn't it? Do you have faith in Breuer? Like I said, I think Breuer is another player that plays with his heart out on the pitch. He loves Chelsea. He's been with us for a while. He's someone that wants to prove himself. Obviously, he was very patient because he was out for nearly a year following from that Aston Villa injury last season. And he wants to fight for his place. And I think now he's got the opportunity to, because Jackson isn't exactly bashing in goals for us every single game. And he's not been performing as well as we want our striker to be, and potentially has been costly in a lot of those games where we could have picked up more points. Breuer is very good on the ball. Technically, I'd say he's better at carrying the ball than Jackson because he doesn't lose the ball in his feet as easy as Jackson does, and he doesn't get pushed off as easy. But then again, the time sample I'm going off is significantly smaller. So I don't know. I personally would start Breuer though. Maybe not against Manchester United, or why not? I don't know. It's tricky because, like I said, I don't want to break up momentum too much, and I get where Pochettino's going with the intention of putting Jackson up top consistently every game because he just wants to push him, get something out of him, and really boost his play. But at the same time, I think Breuer has demonstrated when he has played that he also can bring something out. And I keep saying this, Breuer's not that striker that just lingers and hangs at the top. Like, he works for it. He will drop deep, carry the ball up, link up with players. And I really, really rate that about him. But who knows, maybe Poch will give Breuer a chance, especially if Jackson continues playing the way he does. Enzo showing why he's worth that much money. Even when he's not scoring, he's still impactful, doing everything in midfield. Yeah, Roberto, thank you for saying that, because I keep saying that as well. Like, everyone's saying, oh, where are the goals and assists? And, he can't shoot and this and that. But we didn't bring Enzo in to score our goals, we brought him in because he's someone that has an extensive range of passes. He's great at that. He can sort of read those moments where a player will make a run forward and deliver it. He's great with the long passes too. He obviously can score you a penalty as well, as we saw today. And I think he just brings so much more than just goals and assists, as people are saying, been calling him out for. Yeah, maybe at times, like I keep saying, he's a little bit slower in maybe making that turn. And he needs to understand that obviously the Premier League is quick. Like, you don't get as much time to turn and to think. When you are in those positions in midfield, it needs to be literally split-second decision making and quick, especially when you are playing the ball out the back too. What happened with Gallagher? Does he just hate Brighton? Probably. I don't know what happens with Gallagher Drew, but Gallagher's not been very good today. Everyone's very angry at him. And he's probably going to put on an Instagram story later apologising about his behaviour as not Jackson, James did. But again, like, let's just see it on the pitch, not on Instagram. Got heart attacks every game. Yeah, like I said, I literally think 10 years of my life expectancy have just been cut off, like stretching back to Tottenham, because I mean, that just really kicked it off. But like I said, strap in, because I don't think this is going to be the last of it. Like, Chelsea just will do that to you. And I mean, it's quite fitting, isn't it, guys? Like, our club is chaos at the moment. So I guess chaotic games just really do encompass that. And yeah. I think it will be a very good move going forward to get John Terry on our coaching staff. No better person to learn from. He will definitely improve players' leadership and knowledge of the game. Yeah, look, like I said, I think this stretches back to last season. You do miss those players and those characters, particularly like last season when you couldn't really like name 5 players that wanted to be at Chelsea and played for the badge and knew what it meant to be Chelsea and like the standards. And you kind of still do miss that, because yeah, you could say that Thiago Silva possesses that, but equally that's just not enough, because in that team where, you know, John Terry you're referring to played, you know, you had those leaders and you had the Lampards and the Petr Cechs and the Drogbas and the Essiens and the John Obi Mikkels that consistently like delivered that leadership on the pitch, and it was collective. But again, that wasn't built in just one day. And yeah, maybe you can argue like it was very different back then, and it's probably a far shot to say that we'll have that installed and Pochettino can just do that like this season. No, but equally that is very important. And a lot of our experience did leave in summer. Like, we sold a lot of sort of senior, like extensively like players that have played at Chelsea for a long time. Like, you could say Azpilicueta possessed that. Like, for me, Azpilicueta was definitely that, exactly what you described there. And now you can say Thiago Silva carries that, but like we all know, like one day in the very near future, that day where Thiago Silva leaves is going to come, and then who are you going to say is going to be your Thiago Silva or your John Terry? And that is quite worrying, guys. Take care, Nina. See you soon. Take care, Jack. Thank you so much for watching today. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Oh, that rhymed. Hi, Nina. Let's say it as we were happy for the win, but the performance was poor. 2 weeks in a row, our captain's been sent off, and rightly so. Again, discipline all wrong. Think we got lucky. Yeah, hi, Alan. I agree with you. Again, it's just repetitive at this note, but I think discipline is something that is a big question mark at Chelsea right now. Like, particularly following from the Newcastle game last weekend, Poch said, oh, well, the players are going to have extra training, like no day off, even though it'd been international break and a lot of the players had been like fatigued and exhausted. He said no, but then that didn't quite happen as well. And I think that's where you do lose young players. Like, you do have to exert that sort of a bit of a strictness, I guess, you know, like not boot camp and stuff, but, you know, just actually showing them that decisions like this will get you punished and it's not okay and you shouldn't continue doing that. And it almost seems like the lesson clearly was not learned or received, because Gallagher, like you said, went on to do the exact same thing literally 6 days later. So yeah, agree with you, Alan, like big improvements there to make. If we get striker in January, I hope we get European football, like Europa League. Sorry, it's been 43 minutes. Like Europa League, and I don't think we will get Champions League football. Yeah, look, no. I'm realistic as much as I am positive. I also like to think I'm realistic. Those European spots are far reach right now. You know, not impossible, but the way that other clubs are going, you know, you can't just look at us. You have to look at other teams and stuff, and especially like how competitive like top 10 is, and it's interchanging like consistently. We need to basically like go on a winning streak and really up our game and be winning, and things to just sort of take an incline for us to be in a conversation for those spots. It's not impossible, but it's definitely not as easy as we would have liked it to be, perhaps, particularly now that we are in the time where we are like leading up to December. Obviously got Man United, I believe we've got Everton, we've got Crystal Palace soon in the Prem, we've got Sheffield United. I don't know in what order, but like these are going to be must-win games, and we keep saying that, and unfortunately it's just gotten to a point where we do say that, like, this is a must-win game, this is a must-win game, but we just cannot drop any more points, otherwise we'll be in like really big trouble. Getting, guys, we have to keep winning so that we can get the points deduction, so that when we get points deduction we don't drop too low. Oh god, don't talk about points deduction, because that scares me. Like, how do we even go back from that? Like, We'd be in such big trouble. It's not like we're picking up points left, right, and centre exactly, is it, guys? My lineup I would pick for Wednesday: Sanchez, Cucurella, Silva, Colwill, James, Enzo, Caicedo, Palmer, Mudryk, Breuer, Sterling. Yeah, interesting. So you're obviously dropping Jackson, giving Breuer a start. Yeah, I back that. Why not? I mean, he deserves to actually have a go. Like I said, he's been at Chelsea this long. He deserves to be able to at least try and compete for that striker position. It's not exactly like I said that Jackson's doing a 10 out of 10 job there anyway. So why not? I mean, maybe it'll be good for Jackson to get some competition. Like maybe he's flying a little bit too high and needs to be brought down and shown that, you know, you're not the only one here. Big up. Hello. How are you? Big win today. Yes, big win today. Hi, Nina. I'm very excited about the future. Nkunku and Lavia are back soon. We will push for top 4. I'm glad you're feeling this positive. I think this is a great comment to actually round this one out because, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a process. And sorry to throw this word out at you again, but I am a firm believer that's like what this is. Like we have to be patient with players, with Pochettino. Obviously it's a rocky ride, like nothing's going to be smooth at Chelsea ever, but like yeah, when has it ever been? Following from last season, though, I refuse to get as negative as I was then, now, like this early on. And maybe you'll argue that it's not that early. And, you know, we are approaching Christmas time. And, you know, you are seeing teams that are consistently like picking up points now and are pushing up for those top 4 spots. And we almost just seem so far behind in the race. But yeah, it's going to take time. Like I said, guys, it's going to take time. Like some of the teams that you maybe look at and compare to us, they've had more time together. They've had their manager longer spent with them. They haven't like brought and recruited the whole wide world and brought them into one pitch. Obviously, Poch has a big job to do, but that's part of it. You know, managing some of the younger players that will have egos, like they will want to play, they will sulk, they will make decisions like that. But it's all about rectifying that, and it's going to take time. Like that's just it. But anyways, guys, Manchester United on Wednesday. There's no if buts and no maybes. Like that is guaranteed. Well, guarantee I hope, but it must be 3 points. Like I refuse to take anything else away. Yeah, I'll probably live stream after that game as well, so stay tuned for that. And I will film like an actual proper match review once I've made sense of the whole game, so also stay tuned for that. But like this live stream, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you so much to all of you who are still here until the very end. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Sunday and your week as well. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. I'll see you soon.